is Excel 2016, Module 6, Part 4. In this segment, we're going to look at grouping our worksheets together and formatting them for printing and then printing the entire group. So let's get back into our Michigan workbook. Okay, so at this point you should have created your summary worksheet, and it should have all of your 3D reference formulas in there, summing up the information from the 4 quarterly worksheets. So all of the page layout tasks that we have been doing in earlier chapters have looked at just formatting the worksheet that you're on, the active worksheet. But what if I want all of them to print the same and I want to print them all at once? We can use grouping to do that task. So we're going to group the summary worksheet all the way through quarter 4. So again, to create the group, we click on Summary, hold the Shift key down, click on quarter 4. We want all 5 of those worksheets to be within our group. We should see the work group up here. Now, everything we do affects all 5 of the worksheets. So we're going to start out and we're going to go to the Page Layout tab. And then I'm going to open up this dialog box. It's a little easier to make multiple changes here on this dialog box. So I'm going to first click on the margins and I'm going to tell it to center this work horizontally. Next, I'm going to go to the header and the footer, and I'm going to create a custom header. It's important to remember when you're working with headers and footers that if they ask you to insert a sheet name, you should not be typing. You should be using these buttons. You want to find the one that says insert a sheet name, and we want that in the center section. So we're going to click in the center section, find the sheet name button, and click to insert it. If you type a sheet name there, then that is what it is going to be typed at the top of every page, not the actual sheet names that you have down here. So you always want to use these buttons unless one of the buttons does not work. We're going to then go to our custom footer. And in the left section, we're going to insert today's date. And let's say on the second line, we wanted to see the time. So we could hit return or enter and then add the time. The only time you would actually want to type something is if it's not available in a button. So we put these in the wrong section, so we're going to delete these. We want the date over here in the right section. And then I'm going to hit enter and I'm going to add the time. That's not in your chapter, but a lot of times I like to add the time to reports so that if I have multiple copies of it printed on the same day with different answers, I know which one is more current. And on the left side, we're going to put our name. We're going to say this was prepared by and your name. Now, that information is not available in a button. So we're going to click this if we want to change any of the fonts. If not, we can just type. So we're going to say prepared by and your name. And then click OK. And now we're going to do a print preview. Now, if you notice, it is printing all 5 worksheets. Notice it's 5 pages. I can scroll through those. Each page has a worksheet name up here at the top. And each page has the appropriate footer information. If it says active sheets when there is a group, the entire group will print. You can change it to the entire work group, but then notice that formatting that you did not apply to the documentation worksheet. There's no header, there's no footer, and it is not centered. It only applied to those worksheets within the group. If I go back to only active sheets, it's only going to print those 5. I'm not really going to print, so I'm going to hit the back arrow. And then I'm going to go ahead and save our work. We're going to continue on working with additional workbooks in the next segment.